At first, it looked like a normal tech week. A keynote, some demos, a few cameras, and the usual promises about the future. Then the machines started moving. One served food, another trained for dark factories. A whole swarm turned martial arts into a robot show. And by the end of March, one question felt impossible to ignore. Did AI just leave the screen for good and start taking space in public life? Robot brains. The biggest shock of NVIDIA GTC was not just a faster chip or a bigger server. It was the feeling that the industry had quietly changed the subject. This was no longer just about chatbots, image tools, or software that lives on a laptop. NVIDIA spent the week pushing something much bigger: physical AI. That means robot bodies powered by models that can see, reason, simulate, and act in the real world. That shift matters because robot progress used to be split into separate pieces. One team handled movement, another handled vision, another handled control. At GTC, the message was that those walls are coming down. NVIDIA showed a stack designed to train robot brains in simulation, first then move them into real machines. That sounds technical, but the effect is easy to picture. Instead of teaching one robot one task in one room, companies now want to train huge amounts of behavior in virtual worlds and then push that learning into fleets. That is why this week felt so different. A tech conference suddenly looked like the opening scene of a manufacturing reset. The stage was full of talk about physical AI, open robot models, simulation frameworks, and general robot intelligence. Even the vibe changed. Robots were no longer presented like side attractions. They were presented like the next platform. And that idea is what makes the whole week feel a little unsettling. Once AI stops being just a voice in your phone and becomes a mind inside moving hardware, the question changes. It is no longer what can AI answer. It becomes what can AI do when it has hands, wheels, joints, cameras, and a job. That leap from software helper to physical worker is the thread connecting almost every headline in this list. Snack server. If the keynote was the big theory, the snack robot was the moment people could actually feel the future standing in front of them. At the GTC floor, a humanoid machine from Humanoid took spoken snack orders and rolled over to hand people food. On paper, that sounds simple. In person, it hits differently. Why? Because food delivery is not supposed to feel dramatic. It is ordinary. That is what makes it eerie. The robot listened through a microphone, processed the request, moved toward the shelf, grabbed the item, came back, and delivered it by extending its arm. Reports from the floor said it took around 45 seconds and even made small mistakes like bringing an extra snack. But that did not make the demo weaker. It made it stronger. Perfect demos can feel fake. Imperfect demos feel real. This one looked like the awkward first step of something that could suddenly scale. A robot that can take a simple voice order and hand you the right object is only one layer away from retail counters, hotel lobbies, hospital supply rooms, and late-night convenience shops. Once people see that chain reaction, the demo stops feeling cute. And the visual was powerful. A humanoid body with wheels below, arms above, and an AI layer in the middle. Not a toy, not a screen. A machine built to receive instructions from people and turn them into motion. That is where this story gets strange. Up to this point, these machines still look like demos. But when a robot can hear you reach for an object and hand it back without freezing, the distance starts to feel very small. So tell me in the comments what matters more to you right now: smarter robots or safer robots? Dark factory. Now take that same idea and remove the crowd, the smiles, and the fun booth energy. Put it in a warehouse, give it repetitive work, turn off the lights. That is the direction Vention pushed during GTC with rapid operator AI. And honestly, this may be one of the most serious stories from the whole week. The demo focused on deep bin picking, which sounds boring until you realize how hard it actually is. A robot has to look into a messy bin full of parts, identify what it needs, choose a grip adjust in real time, pick the object cleanly, and repeat that process again and again. Humans do this without thinking. Robots have struggled with it for years. Vention's pitch was that physical AI has finally pushed this from a fragile lab challenge toward a commercial product. The company talked about high first-pick success rates, adaptive retries, and operation built for round-the-clock manufacturing. In plain language, the machine is being sold as a worker that does not get tired, does not get bored, and does not complain about the ugliest repetitive task on the floor. That is the part that lands hard. This is where AI stops being a fun internet story and becomes an economic story. Once companies believe a system can handle messy objects in messy environments with human-like consistency, the pressure to automate rises fast. And unlike a flashy humanoid waving on stage, this kind of robot already has a direct business case. It promises speed, repeatability, traceability, and a version of labor that management can scale by ordering more machines. That is why this item belongs in the scary category. It is not loud, it is not theatrical, it is quiet, specific, and useful. Those are the inventions that usually spread the fastest. Kung Fu Swarm. While GTC was telling the world that robot brains are ready for the physical world, China was showing the world something else: scale. The viral unitree clips from the Spring Festival season did not just go big because the robots moved well. They went big because viewers suddenly saw many machines moving together with confidence. This was not one humanoid waving at a camera. This was a coordinated spectacle. Martial arts routines, synchronized timing, clean recovery, stable footwork, and public proof that these robots were no longer trapped in a lab corner. Reuters reported that the exposure turned unitree into a national talking point, and days later the company filed for a Shanghai IPO that tested how seriously investors now take humanoid robotics. That connection matters. Viral performance used to be just attention. Now attention is turning into capital. Capital turns into factories, hiring supply chains, and more machines. Reuters reported that unitree shipped thousands of robots last year and held a major share of the global humanoid market. That means the videos were not random internet theater. They were advertising for an industry that is already moving. And the most unsettling part is how quickly public perception can change. A year ago, many people still saw humanoids as expensive experiments. Then a robot does martial arts on one of the biggest stages in China, the clips fly everywhere, and suddenly the conversation shifts to production scale. That kind of shift can happen in weeks, not decades, once viral proof meets serious manufacturing ambition. If that swarm of kung fu bots made your jaw drop, hit like and subscribe, because the next entries move from spectacle into places we thought were still more personal: government halls, homes, and the space right in front of your eyes. White House bot. One of the most surreal moments in this whole story happened when Figure 03 walked into the White House orbit. That image mattered because it was not just a lab reveal or a trade show demo, it was a political and cultural signal. A humanoid robot was no longer being shown only to engineers and investors. It was being shown as a symbol of where society thinks it is heading. Figure had already introduced Figure 03 as a new generation robot built for home tasks and broader deployment. Then came newer demonstrations of helix-powered behavior, including home tidying and more flexible full-body control. Put those together, and the message becomes very clear. This is not a robot being sold as a single-purpose machine. It is being sold as a general-purpose presence. That is the part that gets under your skin. General purpose means it can keep gaining behaviors. Fold, carry, sort, clean, fetch, navigate, assist. It does not need to be amazing at every task on day one. It only needs to be good enough at enough tasks to become normal. And once something becomes normal, resistance drops fast. The White House appearance amplified that feeling. Reuters reported that Figure 03 greeted attendees in multiple languages.
Welcome. Bienvenidos. Yokoso. Bienvenue.
That kind of moment travels fast online because it compresses the future into one clip. A machine with a human shape, social polish, and public legitimacy suddenly looks less like a prototype and more like a coming category. This is also where the global race gets more intense. The United States wants robot leaders. China is pushing volume and visibility. South Korea is tying robotics to manufacturing. Germany and Japan keep testing industrial use. What looked like a collection of separate projects is starting to feel like a real race. Factory Atlas. Then there is Atlas, which may be the cleanest example of where all this is heading once the show floor lights fade out. Boston Dynamics spent years training the internet to expect jaw-dropping stunts from Atlas. But the more important story in 2026 is not entertainment. It is industrial rollout. Reuters reported that Hyundai Motor Group plans to deploy Atlas humanoids at its Georgia factory starting in 2028, beginning with parts sequencing and then expanding to more complex work. That might sound less exciting than flips and parkour, but it is actually the bigger headline. The robot is moving from wow clips to workflow. That is a huge difference. Viral videos make people clap. Factory roles make executives calculate. Once a giant manufacturer starts planning where a humanoid fits in a real production line, the conversation becomes measurable. Cost per hour, error rate, uptime, safety, expansion. Suddenly, the robot is not a dream, it is a line item. And once a robot becomes a line item, it becomes something competitors feel pressured to copy. The South Korea connection adds another layer. Hyundai is not treating robotics like a side bet. It is weaving it into how it sees the future of making things. Reuters also reported union concern around the plan, which tells you something important. People do not worry about products that feel far away. They worry about products that feel close enough to matter. By now, we have seen robots take stages, booths, and factory plans. But the smallest device in this lineup may be the one most people would actually wear. Before we get there, comment this: would you trust a robot in your house more than AI on your face? Spy glasses. The final item is the smallest but maybe the one with the fastest path into everyday life. Meta's Ray-Ban display glasses took AI and put it directly in front of the eye, with an in-lens display live captions translation. Features cameras, microphones, and a wristband for gesture control. Compared with a humanoid robot that sounds almost harmless, that is exactly why it is so powerful. A big robot announces itself the moment it enters a room. Smart glasses do not. They slip into daily life quietly. They ride on fashion. They look normal from a distance, and yet they turn the face into an interface. That is a major shift. Reuters reported that Meta launched the product in September 2025, and later noted that the broader smart glasses line was gaining traction while also facing privacy concerns. That combination is what makes this item such a strong ending for the list. It is not just about what the device can do for the wearer, it is about what everyone around the wearer now has to wonder. Is it listening? Is it translating? Is it recording? Is it identifying? Is it feeding data into a model? Is the person in front of you fully present or partly routed through software? That is the new tension. And this is why the week of robot headlines matters beyond the robots themselves. The same AI wave is moving in two directions at once. One direction gives machines bodies, the other gives ordinary people superpowered eyes and ears. One changes labor, the other changes social space. Together, they create a world where AI is not waiting on a browser tab anymore. It is walking, lifting, sorting, watching, and whispering in real time. Which robot felt closest? Would you wear AI glasses? Let us know in the comments below. Like always, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to give us a big thumbs up and leave us some love in the comments section. To keep up to date with all of our awesome videos, be sure to hit subscribe and turn your notifications on to never miss a thing. Until next time, do take good care of yourself.